Thank you. I will remember that. If you're just getting on the call, let us know who you are and where you're calling from.
It's
Dawn
Riel
Ellis,
from
San Jose,
Edmonton.
California.
Welcome, Dawn.
Thank you.
Holly
Who else we got
Diamond,
out there?
West Virginia.
Welcome, Holly.
Hi, my name is Nyoka.
Mohag and Louisville.
Welcome.
My name is Nyoka, and I am in Gainesville, Georgia.
Welcome, Georgia.
Ron Hankey.
Welcome, Ron.
David Shrin, Louisville, Kentucky.
Welcome, David Sharinda. Lots of beeps, guys. If you're just getting on the call, shout out and let us know who you are and where you're calling from. We've got about 2 minutes left before we get started.
Shelly and
Tanya,
Tanya,
Riel from Edmonton.
Welcome.
Sherry from St. Charles.
Welcome, Sherry. I'm still waiting to hear Josh out there. That's the biggest one I want to hear. I got all my other guests so far lined up.
Yeah, he's one of my buds.
1 minute left, guys. Get those last-minute text messages and Facebook messages out. Get people on tonight's call. If you have been struggling with weight loss, tonight you're going to get some tips from some amazing rock stars in the community. If you're just getting on the call, let us know who you are and where you're calling from.
Lynn from Imperial, Missouri.
Welcome.
Josh Wiesler, St. Louis.
There he is. Welcome, Josh. All right, guys, and with that, I'm going to get the call started. If you guys want to mute the lines out. Thank you so much, and welcome to the Tuesday night TeamViHOPE call. This is Pat Ryan from Windsor, Ontario, Canada. I'm a national director with Visalis. I am a national active champion with Body by Vi, as well as a proud member of the 100-Pound Club and TeamViHOPE. Welcome to the Tuesday night TeamViHOPE call. I am so excited for tonight. You have no idea, but you're going to hear in the end of this half an hour. We have some incredible guests. We have had some amazing things going on in the Vi community. The fever is going absolutely crazy right now. Project 10 is making a resurgence. We are on a mission to crush obesity, and I've been doing that for 4 years now. I started at 430 pounds. I was a broken down man. I'm a former pro wrestler and a former college football player, and at one point in life I was in shape, but the only shape I got into was round and very unhealthy. 39 years old, my doctor told me I had 170 over 90 blood pressure and I needed to do something about it, maybe have gastric bypass or I was going to be a heart attack. He called me a walking heart attack. And I'm sitting in the office with my 1.5-year-old at the time, and I realized that I needed to live for him and I needed to live for my 2 older children. And one more that I didn't know about at that point in time, but I have 4 children now. So in the last 4 years, I have lost 150 pounds, and it all started with my first 90 days. I lost 56 pounds. First 3 weeks was 15 pounds, and I became a believer in what we had, a shake that tastes like cake, from a skinny guy that told me that it was going to work, and I just laughed at him for 9 months. When my doctor gave me the health warning, I decided to say yes. And I am glad that I accepted the challenge, because now I am here on this call with you 4 years later, living and breathing the Vi Life Challenge. And I absolutely love what I do. And I'm excited to introduce my co-host for this evening, Southwest Regional Weight Loss Champion, Theresa. Thomas, are you there?
I'm here.
Hi, Theresa. How are you?
I'm doing fabulous. How are you?
I'm a little pumped up. Can you tell?
Just a little, but I love it.
Awesome. I haven't even had a knee on. I'm going on just pure energy. Theresa, tell your story. Talk to Josh. Do what you got to do, and I'll talk to you guys in a while.
Sure. Well, my name is Theresa. I am from San Antonio, Texas, originally born and raised in Michigan. So I'm real close to Pat up there. So if I kind of sound like him, that's why. I started my journey with Vi 3 years ago. I accepted the challenge from my UPS driver, delivered some packages to my hotel I was working at. He was just getting skinnier and skinnier, and I'm like, what are you doing? I need some of what you are doing. About a year after that, I finally accepted the challenge. my first 90 days, I was able to lose 40 pounds, overall 21 inches in my first 90 days. After that, I was sold. I kept going and kept fighting. To date, 3 years later, I'm down 140 pounds. I've been able to battle a couple different tough struggles through my life here. I've lost my father to renal kidney failure and diabetes. I have battled thyroid cancer, hypothyroidism, and PCOS. All of those diseases are hard to lose weight and hard to keep it off. So ViSalus has been my answer, has been my key, and has been my strength. That's just a little bit about my story. That's enough about me. I am so excited to bring on our guest for the call today. I have my first guest. It's Josh. Are you out there?
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
I can. Thank you so much. I'm so excited to have you on this call tonight. I've been watching your videos on Facebook. You get me absolutely pumped up. So I'm excited to hear your story. And go ahead, just take it away.
Oh, well, thank you. Yeah, we'll make it relatively quick. But yeah, I wanted to thank you, Pat and Theresa, for inviting me onto the call. Pat, basically it was his story I saw back at Vitality that actually kind of got me really engaged into the company and actually really kicked up my weight loss a level. But to start at the beginning, my friend the Pulleys, they introduced me to the challenge in February of last year, and I basically I told them no, I wasn't interested for about 6 months, and then July came around, and my grandpa had actually been fighting cancer. He beat the cancer, but he was 83 at the time, and his body did not take the treatments all that well, and he actually started going downhill from the treatment. So around July of that year, I decided, seeing what he was going through with his treatments, and he was a professional baseball player back in the 50s and the 60s, and a big man, just a great character, and to see what he was going through at the end made me realize that if I didn't make a change, I was not going to be here much longer, and my end was going to be so much worse than his, and I could see the characteristics of my bad decisions with my weight and my life, how they were affecting my family and especially my daughter. So I got a hold of Mike and I said, you know what, I got to make a change. I need to do this. And I got on the challenge. July 20th is when I got my kit. I started on the shake kit and did pretty well for the first couple of weeks. I think I lost about 15 pounds within the first month, and but then I hit a little plateau and went back and forth up until I went to Vitality, and I went to my first event and just saw how much possibility there was with the company and the product and just losing weight in general. These people's lives were transformed walking across the stage, and at that point it kind of became on fire, I guess you could say. And I came back from Vitality, and in the first 30 days from Vitality, I lost 30 pounds. 30 pounds in 30 days. I was not hungry. I was not hurting. I was not doing anything. I had started exercising at that point as opposed to, just doing the shakes. And I dropped 30 pounds pretty quickly. And it was a healthy way because I was eating well. I was using the shakes and I had energy. Nothing was bad. I've gone through crash diets and they didn't work, but this seemed to sustain. And then so after the first 90 days, I had lost 50 pounds total, and then I hit that first plateau because I've always had issues with seasonal depression in winter, and the shakes and being on the challenge actually helped sustain me. I didn't lose any weight, but I didn't gain any weight, which was big for me up until the spring. But at that point, I realized I needed to also start investing in my mental side. Started feeding myself books or reading books and doing personal development so I could actually promote and do well in the business. And so after a certain point when I got back from Vitality, I took a run at promoting, and I didn't do too well. I actually alienated some friends and decided that I was going to just work on my personal development and my weight loss. So over the past probably 7 months, I would say, I've done nothing but work on personal development, my skill sets, my mindset,
And then about a month and a half ago, 2 months ago, I signed up and got some coaching, and then I've just it's kind of exploded from there. I mean, you guys are seeing it. You've seen some of my videos. I just started a coaching practice to help some people actually get around or get through those mental struggles that we're going to be talking about tonight, to help them not just in weight loss but in life and, relationships and everything with my weight loss I can definitely associate to the mental struggles that I've had. Every plateau I've hit has been all mental. I haven't run into anything where my diet's affected it or I haven't been exercising the right way. Everything I've hit has been mental. So I'm very grateful to have been asked to be on this call, and hopefully my story helps some people. So that's where I'm at. So thank you.
I absolutely love it. Love it, love it. So everyone hits plateaus. It's part of the journey, right? So I'm so excited to hear more from you. And I know we're going to dig more into that in a little bit. So thank you so much for sharing your story with Vi, and we're going to talk to you in just a few more minutes. So hang tight. I have another guest on the call tonight, too. Excited to introduce her as well. She has recently been featured on a TV show. I don't know if you've heard of it, but Extreme Weight Loss. Cast member there, and she was able to lose 160 pounds. But I'm going to let her share more depth to that story. Jennifer Snell, are you on the phone?
I sure am. Thank you, Theresa. You guys rock.
Yeah, well, we know you rock, so we're excited to hear your story and your background here. Go ahead, take it away.
Okay. Well, my story kind of starts out sad. As a child, I was physically and psychologically and emotionally abused by my stepfather, and at age 9, I was playing with my little brother. If you guys saw the show, you know this. If you haven't, you can go watch it on YouTube. But I was playing with my little brother, and he fell backwards and hit his head on a brick car, and he died 3 days later. I grew up from age 9 thinking that I killed my brother, and basically had zero self-worth, no self-value. The beatings just kind of kept happening, and verified, that I was in the wrong. I used to pray that God would take me and bring him back, and I started cutting on myself at about age 11 and became suicidal at age 12, ran away from home at age 16, got into a lot of abusive relationships with men because, we attract what we reflect. So that's where I was at as an adult, started putting on a lot of weight. I, too, Theresa, can relate to you. I had thyroid cancer. I had it 3 times. I beat it all 3 times, but I gained 100 pounds. And really, about that time in my life, my PTSD from the trauma as a child just really was taking its toll, and I started using food to control my triggers. Fast forward several years, I met my amazing husband, who is terminally ill. He has 3 autoimmune diseases, but the good Lord blessed me with him. We've been together 8 years, and we have 2 young children. He met me when I was large, as 356 pounds, and 160 to 180 pounds overweight. He called me his broken angel, and he loved me broken, and I loved him no matter what. And so we started in this life together, holding hands, kind of just like we're gonna take this world by the tail. And one day we were sitting on the couch. We were super fans of the show. Yay, Chris Palace! Any of you guys are fans? We were super fans, and we'd sit and watch the show on the couch. We'd of course be gorging ourselves with really bad food. And he turned and looked at me and he said, I'm not going to be around to walk our daughter down the aisle, and I'm not going to be here to take our son to ball games. I need to know you are. And it was the first time we ever talked about the elephant in the room, my weight. And I looked at him and I laughed nervously, like, what the heck is he doing? We don't talk about this stuff. And 2 weeks later I applied. And the rest is history. 18,000 people applied, 18 people got picked. I was one of them. It was obviously something that I was supposed to do. And I lost 160 pounds on the show. I went from 356 to 182. And the last 30 pounds, right before finale, my body said, no more, I'm done. I'm not working out another hour. I'm not eating another lean, all-veggie meal. I'm not taking in another tablespoon of coconut oil. You're done. And if it wasn't for my fellow castmate, John Robinson, that turned me on to Visalis, I really don't know if I would have been standing there at 182 at finale, because I was just exhausted after 12 months of constant go. And he introduced me to Visalis, and I got on the shakes and the metabolism booster, and I lost my last 30 pounds in 10 weeks, which I don't know about you guys, but you know your last 30 pounds is the hardest. And it worked, and it got me to where I needed to be. And so it just made sense to me to join this company and partner with them. I went ahead and signed up in May, so I've only been in the business for a few months, but I went Rising Star in 7 days, and regional director, got a BMW for free in 34 days. And I'm now running to national director. I'm going for equity. And to date, I've made $5,600 plus, and I only work 5 to 6 weeks out of the 13 I've been doing this business. So I feel very blessed and fortunate to be a part of it. And if I can do it, despite all of the craziness, the filming, the skin removal surgery, a terminally ill husband, little kids, anyone can do it. So.
Oh my gosh, I love it. I love it. Your story touches me very close to the heart. We've gone through pretty similar backgrounds, and I love it. So I thank you so much for sharing your story. So excited, actually, to keep both of you guys on the phone and bring Pat, our host, back on the call for him to talk a little bit more in depth with us. Pat, are you there?
Yep, just trying to catch my tears. Wow.
I know, right?
That really, really related to me big time, and I'm going to share even more than I planned on sharing when I share my story at the very end, because Jennifer, you said some things that really touched my heart. Okay, good. Getting my breath here. I got a question for all three of you. I'm going to ask you in order that you guys appeared, Theresa, and then Josh, and then Jennifer, and then I'm going to take it away at the end. The question is a two-part question, okay? And everybody, guys, get your pens and pencils out and get your notepads out if you haven't been writing, because this is going to be some amazing advice from people that have lost a combined, what are we at, 385 pounds from these three people. The question, how has weight loss changed your mindset and helped you conquer the mental struggles usually associated with weight loss? Okay, that's part one. And part two is, what do you still struggle with mentally today? Because I know that I got a lot of struggles still. Theresa, please answer that for us.
Oh, wow, that's a difficult question. After losing 140 pounds, I still, till this day, have mental struggles. It's going to happen. It's part of the journey, and that's something that I couldn't accept when I first started losing weight. So, a lot of the mental struggles that I dealt with were emotional eating. That was huge for me. I lost 70 pounds and hit a plateau for 7 months. 7 months! I resorted to the peanut butter jar. I resorted to pizza, burgers, you name it, margaritas. I became a taco fan again. So I am an emotional eater, and, yesterday I considered picking up the jar of peanut butter and just putting the spoon in it and just going to town. But you know what? I think back and I think, you know what? Why did I start this journey, and where was I when I started this journey? I am not the same person physically, mentally, or emotionally. So I need to remind myself constantly. So some quick tips that I daily live by. I have a support system, and the support system is not who you may think it may be. It might not be your own mother. It might not be your best friend, because you know why? They can't relate to you. They did not lose 140 pounds. They did not lose 80 pounds. They did not lose 60 pounds. Wherever you're at in your journey, find somebody that can relate to you, because you know what? They dig you out of your hole that you're in when you're depressed and you want to go to pizza or the peanut butter or whatever your weakness may be. It might be beer. It might be vodka. They are the ones that you can relate to. And the second thing is I keep my phone full of inspirational quotes. If I'm ever down or if I'm ever having a rough night, the next morning or that night actually, I go on Instagram or I go wherever I need to go to find some cool quotes or something that's really on my mind. And that next morning I'm going to post it, and that's what I'm going to live by. I'm going to believe it. So those are some of the biggest things that I've been able to utilize to help me get through my emotional battles, because it's real. It is so real. Pat, I hope that answered your question.
Yeah, I hope it answered everybody's questions. I'm one of those people. You talk about the support system. I can relate. I totally understand. I still love peanut butter. But we're not on the same journey. We're not on the same journey right now, though. Theresa is training. Now listen to this, guys. From 140-pound weight loss, training to compete in a WBFF figure show in the transformation division. So to go from morbidly obese, with thyroid cancer, with every issue that she had, to be getting ready to go up on stage in a bikini and stilettos and strut her stuff. High five to you, Theresa. Seriously.
Love you.
It is going to be absolutely amazing. Thank you so much, Theresa. Josh, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right, so same question. Weight loss changed your mindset and helped you conquer the mental struggles associated with weight loss? And what do you still struggle with mentally?
Well, first, let me say I'm not going to be competing in a bikini anytime soon, but I am getting ready to train for the Tough Mudder in October. So, but more, that's awesome, Theresa. I'm extremely impressed. For me, weight loss has helped me realize that my weight is tied directly into how I feel about myself and my self-worth. I get myself around, which is different from about 13 months ago. I'm in a couple different groups that when we share, we talk about things, they don't judge. If you look, there's your actions, my actions. It may not make sense on the surface, but it always makes sense somewhere. There's always somewhere deep down where it makes sense why we eat. I was the same way as Theresa. I would do well during the day and I would binge at night, or I would eat well during the week and I'd sabotage myself on the weekends. And until I realized to start loving myself and realizing I'm okay with who I'm at, and as long as I'm working, I can fall down. I can be okay and get back up and start attacking, the day again, or even tomorrow if I have a bad day. That has helped me actually. I've taken that and I've actually started utilizing that in businesses and in my relationships, and it's basically helped me realize that I can work on myself and I can not be perfect and I can still be okay. And when my self-worth is okay, then everything else will work as long as I don't quit. I don't give up. And so with that, kind of to tie that into what I still struggle with, I kind of look at it a different way. I still struggle with everything. Like Theresa said, I still want to go and have that bad meal. I want to eat that dessert. I have trouble waking up at 5 o'clock in the morning to get up and run, but I know that if I don't, I'm just going to end up back on that couch at 335 pounds where I was 13 months ago. So I've got people now that through this process, and because my calling, what I believe is I'm here to help other people realize their greatness, and it's big, and it's accountable to not just myself, but my family, my fiance, my kids, everyone. So I still struggle every day with that stuff, but I've wrapped my mind around the fact that the struggle will always be there, and it is good as long as you accept it because that lets you know that you're still growing. That lets you know that you're on the right path. If the struggle isn't there, then you're comfortable, and you're not getting anywhere. You're just going to be where you've always been. And if you're happy there, then you're happy there, and that's where you could be. But for me, that doesn't work. So hopefully that answers your question and helps some people out there. So.
Awesome. Thank you, Josh. It almost sounded kind of like Theresa, and I bet you Jennifer's going to kind of sound the same. We all go through this.
Yeah.
And this is just a point that I wanted to make with this, and this is what I wanted to bring up the mental struggles for, how we all still struggle daily with what it is. You want the irony of this before I bring Jennifer on? The quietest place I could find to sit and do this call, I'm sitting in the back of a parking lot of a McDonald's right now. I'm not going to go through the drive-thru, and I'm not going to order anything, but it is the quietest place I could find in the city. So I'm pretty excited about that. I think we're crushing obesity. Thank you so much, Josh. I appreciate you very much.
Thank you.
Jennifer, are you there?
Yes, I am, and I'm trying to get my composure. You guys are, like, amazing. My hair is standing up on my arms. I'm a little teary-eyed over listening to you guys, and I just want to reiterate for everyone listening how amazing and important it is to have a support system. I don't care if they're blood. I don't care if they're a stranger. I don't care if it's a organization like Visalis, whoever and whatever it is, grab on, run with them, stay with them, find people that you want to be like, and don't try to reinvent the wheel. Get out there and join a challenge group or find some friends that are walking, whatever it is, and hold on to those people, because I'm telling you, I'm sitting here, I've just lost 160 pounds. But these people on the call are inspiring me, and you guys, that's just really key. It's been key for me as well. But I will say that losing 160 pounds in 12 months is something I would have said that is impossible. In fact, I did. I looked at Chris Powell and I told him he was crazy. And, if you guys saw my show, you know this. If you haven't, then you'll hear this for the first time. But when Chris Powell came and chose me and said, I choose you for the transformation of your life, that was the first time in my life I felt like I might be a good person at 42 years old. And what Josh was saying is so true, that if your self-value and your self-worth isn't intact, it doesn't matter if you're drinking Vi shakes or you're going to Jenny Craig, or it doesn't matter what you're doing, you can get that weight off, but it will come right back on. It will come right back on. If you don't deal with your mental struggles and your emotional baggage, you are not setting yourself up for sustainable success as a lifestyle, for a lifetime. It's just not going to happen. That's why people yo-yo. Mental struggles and emotional struggles are the only thing, as Josh said, the only thing that I felt like I was dealing with the entire time I've been going through this. Eating right and exercising, yeah, that was kind of a pain in the butt, but I did it. I was okay with that. But facing my fears, telling me to forgive, and the biggest struggle was putting down the Louisville Slugger and not beating myself up anymore. I didn't know any different. I didn't know I had a choice. I didn't know that light at the end of the tunnel was actually for me. I thought I had to stay wallowing in my muck, and I had no idea that you could go through life not being defined by your sad story. I was so defined by my sad story, I couldn't move. I was paralyzed and I was in quicksand. And sometimes you are gifted with a light of hope in your life. Somebody reaches out to you and tries to help you. Grab a hold of that, because that's what I did. That's what I did with Chris Powell. Chris Powell's never been obese. Why would I think he could help me? But something about that situation got my attention, and it made me believe in myself just enough to take that first step. The biggest thing that I still deal with now are my triggers from my PTSD, and I have to choose every single day to make the right choice, the choice that I'm educated now in knowing what the right choice is. And it's almost like a mechanical piece in my brain now where I just know this is what I need to do. Just do it. And I don't question it because I know it works. And that's my hardest thing is remembering, looking in the mirror and going, you know what, you're okay, girl. You're a good person and you didn't kill your brother and you're forgiven and you can forgive your stepfather and you've got a great life and your husband is going to be with you as long as the Lord willing. So celebrate every single day. And I have to choose every day to have that attitude. And the biggest help for me that I learned in counseling and working with Chris Powell is that if you're fretting and your mind is taking you somewhere deep and dark and you're struggling and you can't shake something in your head, your mental struggle is so big, you have to stop and you have to ask yourself 2 questions. 1, can I do anything about it? And if the answer is yes, then get off your butt and do something about it. If the answer is no, then let it go. It's draining your energy. And that is the biggest thing I can give you guys. Hope that helps.
Yeah, that helped more than you can possibly imagine. Wow. Thank you, Jennifer. Thank you, Josh. Thank you, Theresa. Thank you for opening up and sharing many pieces of what's inside you and what it took for us to become obese and what it took for us to beat obesity. Thank you so much. So this call has had a 140-pound weight loss female who is now training to be in the WBFF in a transformation division in a bikini. We have an 85-pound loser of a man who's lost 85 pounds who has now become a life coach. We have Jennifer Snell from ABC's Extreme Weight Loss who lost 160 pounds in a year and has totally changed her life through every struggle that you heard. And then you have me, a pro wrestler and an actor who was a beaten and broken man 4 years ago, but who has gotten his life back, but he still struggles mentally. And what you just said, Jennifer, is what really, I don't even know what I'm going to say right now. It's just going to come out because I don't open up this much normally. But my name is Pat Ryan, and I'm a food addict. I look in my kitchen cupboards as many times as I can a day to see what I can eat. I don't always eat, but I do it compulsively. When I drive down the road and I see a billboard, I get excited by the cheeseburger on it. I get excited by the pizza. It makes me want to go there. The struggle is real. The weight loss was the easiest part of the journey. Losing 150 pounds looking back now was just a drop in the bucket. These last 3 years, trying to maintain it, trying to keep it off, trying to fight the demons, trying to fight those mental struggles has been the hardest part of it. And without TeamViHOPE, without our support system, I would not be here doing this. This is what kept me in this shape and has kept my weight off, is the support system, the challenge groups, what you guys mentioned. That is what is needed for long-term weight loss. Inspirational quotes, I live by them. I post them daily. If you want the best, go to YouTube. It's a video called Unbroken. Just type in Unbroken Motivational, and it will come up. It's about 6 minutes long. Watch it every day, because I do. Because I wake up some days, and I push my feet to the ground, and I hop out of bed with a big yes, and I'm ready to face the day. And there's other days that still the alarm goes off, and I hit it, and I put the covers over my head, and I don't want to get out of bed, and I don't want to know what to do. If I don't wake up and I give myself some inspiration, I'm not going to wake up, and I'm going to have a really, really bad day. It is a choice, as Jennifer said. What you do is a choice. Life is only 10% of what happens to you and 90% of how you react to it. And being obese has a lot to do with emotional eating. So it's that 90% that we have to battle for the rest of our lives. And we have to realize that even though that cheeseburger and that grease sliding down your throat will soothe you like a drug, it's not good for you because it's going to kill you, just like a drug. If somebody went to your work like they always do, I see pictures all the time. Look at these donuts. You got to have these donuts. You got to have this cake. I made it myself. It is the best. You got to try this. You got to try this. You got to try this. Pushing sugar down your throat. That's totally acceptable because it's on billboards everywhere. Yet if somebody was to walk in your work with a bag of cocaine and say this was the greatest thing they'd ever done and they felt the best ever, you should try it, you should try it, that's not acceptable. Why is that? Why is sugar so acceptable? We know sugar is the first drug that anybody is addicted to. When I was a kid, my dad used to call me Satric. He used to say, give the plates to baby Huey. He'll finish it off. Garbage guts will finish it off. It is not hereditary to be obese, but they're habits passed down generation to generation and the way we treat people. So if we want to break this cycle right now, we have to beat our own mental struggles daily. We have to be inspirational. We have to be the face of obesity, and we have to put it out there for ourselves, for other adults, and for children, because the kids right now are what we're fighting for. Every 10 pounds lost on the Project 10 challenge will help feed a child for 90 days, whether they're struggling with obesity or needing the nutrition. And this is the first generation of children that will not outlive their parents. Do you want that? Do you have kids at home? I know I have 4 at home, from 18 years old to 18 months. And when I look into their eyes, I don't want them to have what I had. I don't want them to have the struggles that I have, and I make sure they don't. I have taught them, and I've taught them well because I had to struggle through it. And I continue to pass it on through these calls, and that is why we created TeamViHOPE. The 100, 200, 300, 400-pound club in Visalis wants to pay it forward. We want to be your friend, your support system. So find TeamViHOPE on Facebook. Find us on Facebook. Send us a message so we can be there for you. If you are on the challenge already, thank you for being part of the challenge and living the Vi life. Show it, wear it, put it out there loud and proud. Show your Vi signs, wear your gear, and tell everybody you see about it how they can help beat obesity. And if you're not on the challenge and you just got on this call because you wanted to hear Jennifer talk, or you just wanted some information, or you were struggling with weight loss, talk to the person that got you on this call and have them introduce you to the Project 10 challenge. Guys, my name is Pat Ryan. I'm a food addict, and I always will be, but I will fight it day to day. With that, this call is officially over.